Hello guys, welcome to this Java tutorial for beginners. In today's video, we will talk about static block in Java. So without further ado, let's get started. Now let us understand static block with the help of a program. So here in this program, what I have done is, inside the class test, I have created this static block. So your syntax of static block comprises the keyword static and then you have this, local block, right? And it can contain any arbitrary code, right? So let me run this program first. Now let me compile and execute the program. So let me execute it. And as you see, we have the output as, static block from class test. Now, in the same file, what I have done is I've added another class A, right? And this class A contains our static block, right? So let me run this program once again. Now let me compile and execute the program. So let me run it. And as you see, we have just one line of statement, that is, static block from class test. Now in our program, what I have done is I have simply created the two instances of our class A, that is A1 and A2, right? So let me run this program once again. Now let me compile and execute the program. So let me execute it. And as you see, we have two lines of output, static block from class test, and below that we have static block from class A. So now let us understand static block and how it works. So your static block is a block of code that is executed only once, that is when the class is loaded, right? So let us understand in this example. But before that, let us understand what is class loading. So when your computer wants to use a class, then it is loaded or used by the computer to read the instruction inside the class. So this is where your class loading comes into picture. All right. Now let us understand this example. So let me comment this first, right? So as you have already seen, if I comment this two lines, we just had this one line of output, that is static block from class test, right? So the reason we just had one line of output was because only our class test was loaded, and it was loaded because it contains the main method, right? So that's the reason you just got the single line of output, that is static block from class test, right? And now if I just uncomment this single statement, you have already seen that we had this statement printed, that is, after this statement static block from class test, we have the statement static block from class A, right? So first our class, test was loaded, then our class A, right? So we followed that order because our class test contains the main method, right? And as you know, that main method is the entry point for our any Java program, right? So if I just run this program, we had already seen that we just had two lines of output, that is static block from class test, and below that we had static block from class A, right? So our class A was loaded because we created the instance of our class A, right? So that is we called, or we loaded the class onto our computer's memory. Again, you have already seen that if I uncomment this line, if I had this two objects of class A, still we just had two lines of output, that is static block from class test, and below that we had this static block from class A. So the reason was our static block is executed only once, irrespective of the number of objects, right? So even if I create this 100 objects, our static block will be executed only once for a particular class, that is first when it is loaded onto the computer's memory, right? So one fun thing what we need to know about our static blocks is that the primary function of using static block is to initialize our static fields, right? So you might have a question, right, why we want to use the static blocks to initialize our static fields. So the reason is that the static block provides you with the way to perform more complex operation during the initialization, like exception handling, which we will discuss later on, or we can also perform certain calculations. So this is where your static blocks come into picture. All right. So that is it for the today's video. And don't forget to subscribe for more Java programming videos like this. And I will see you until next time.